Well, hello, my YouTube friends and fam. So, I am here to discuss my fur baby's DNA. So, this is the story. The story is I found her on Facebook, okay? And there was a guy there that I actually met in a Walmart parking lot, and I purchased her for $70 because I know what it's like to have a litter of puppies. You got to pay for the shots, you got to buy their food, and all that stuff. So $70 was nothing. So I used my Christmas money. Well, he proceeded to tell me that the mom was a full-blooded gator pit bull, which to me, when I saw her picture, I thought, oh, what a cute black lab puppy. And I love Labradors because I just think they're adorable. I've had a black lab, I've had a blonde lab, so I have experience with some, mixed. Because I had two that were mixed with, what was it? Husky. So, anyways, he sent me a picture of the mother and said she was full-blooded gator pit bull and her teeth were like all messed up. I mean, he loved her unconditionally, but I thought, oh my God, is my dog going to look this ugly? I mean, not being ignorant, but some of the breeds just come off like their teeth are messed up, because if you look up a gator pit bull and stuff, they're cute when they're puppies, but as they get older, their faces change. But still, I'm an unconditional type. Shelby! So this is what I did. I wanted to find out for sure what she was because I kept telling my hubby she was a black Labrador and he kept saying, you're crazy. So I got this test and it was from Viagard. This is what it looks like. Oh, this was crazy what I went through. You have to go back and watch the beginning of the video. So I went to Viagard and I bought a DNA test because I wanted to prove this dog had Labrador in her. I was determined because even when I took her to the vet, everybody kept saying, "Oh, your lab is so cute." So it wasn't the only one. So my husband was like, And when I talked to her owner, he kept telling me, well, the mother was full-blooded gator pit bull. The dad was German Shepherd and mixed with something else, but he didn't know what. I said, well, there has to be lab in there somewhere. And he says, well, maybe it's just a mixture of the breeds makes her look that way. I go, no, there's lab in this dog. So, you know how it is. Everybody acts like I'm crazy, but then I have to prove myself. Do you ever feel that way, Shelby, that people make you think you're nuts? Like, it's all in your head, and then you're like, no, I don't think so. So I sent her analysis in. It takes 2 weeks to come back. And here's the instructions. And all you have to do is, it comes in a little kit, and there's two great big long, they look like Q-tips, but they're great big and they're long swabs. So what you had to do was you had to put it between her cheek and her gums, and you had to rub it on one side, and then you took the other one, you rubbed it on the other, and you didn't touch the gauze part, and you stuck it back in. So I sent it in. It took 2 weeks, and then they send me an email with the PDF file, and I had to download it. This is what I got, and I did send a picture. I sent one of the pictures of me holding her, it's upside down, holding her paw. She was giving me her paw. So this is what her certificate says. Dog's name is Roni. Level 1 and 2, they give you 5 levels, and they have a list on here, and the levels read something like, I'll just read the first one. It says this category is intended to help owners recognize when their pet's DNA contains a majority of a specific breed, 75% or greater. Level 2 is pretty much the category reports breeds that are easily recognizable in your dog, that have, which breeds may have a strong influence on your pet. Level 3 is like 20 to 36% of the listed breeds usually come from a grandparent. Number 4, 10 to 20% of the DNA breeds from a great-grandparent. And number 5 is something about the level represents the lowest level of breed in your dog occurring at 5% or less. Well, all the levels, nothing registered on 1, 3, 4, and 5. Just number 2, which was reports the breeds that are recognizable because this account, I'll just read the whole thing. It says this category reports breeds that are easily recognizable within your dog. While these breeds may have strong influence on your pet, each breed listed makes up less than a majority of your dog's DNA, between 37 to 74%. This usually means one of the parents was a purebred. So I don't think like this guy snowballed me. I think he knew his dog was a purebred, but whoever he got his dog from, I think lied to him about her breed. Because that can happen. I mean, like, not too many people run out and buy DNA tests for their animals like me. But I'm a truth seeker, so here we go. What was shocking was she's got like this flank look. And I kept telling everybody it must be where the German Shepherd is, because right in that one part of her body, it's real light fur where all her black is. And I kept thinking that was the German Shepherd part. Wrong. That was actually the Labrador. So she is a dog I've never heard of. She's a mixture of two. And it's a Labrador Retriever and the let me see if I can say this right. Staffordshire Bull Terrier is what her mix is. That's what the mother looks like. But when you do look up the Gator Pit Bull and you look up these two dogs, they do have resemblances. And the Staffordshire was also, they said, can fall into the Pit Bull family, because they were fighting dogs like pit bulls. They used to fight pit bulls against these dogs, and these dogs came from England. So this is the mixture. You have the blonde lab, and you have the Staffordshire. So is that like not interesting? So there's no German Shepherd, so I have no clue where he got German Shepherd was in the dad, because this is all that shows up. I never saw the father, so I couldn't say anything. But it definitely proved that I was right about the Labrador, because this is her results. Labrador and Staffordshire. There's her name. There's the results. So there it is. My proof that my puppy has lab. Hey, Victoria. So yeah, I was right, Shelby. Can you believe that? I said, I know my Labradors when I see them. But look at the ears. Like when you looked at the Gator Pit Bull, you know, it's kind of hard when you have a cross, because the Gator Pit Bull, the ears are like up against the head. And these ones are like droopy. Come here, Roni. And I want you to see her face so you see what I mean when you look at the two of these dogs up close. Look at this one. And look at this one. She's got the passivity in her face of the lab. Come here, Ron. Come here. And show everybody your pretty face, Missy. Get up here. Come here. Come here. Up here. So you can see the resemblance. Come here, Bobby. Oh my goodness. I gotcha. Show them your pretty face. So what a combo. She is a beautiful combination of both dogs. Looky. See how she's got the passivity? But her ears. Look at her little ears. I just love her. But see, that's what I said. It did, and then when I contacted her owner, I just wanted him to know that his dog wasn't what he thought she was. I said, your dog is not a Gator Pit Bull. Your dog was a Staffordshire Bull Terrier. That's what he had. I wish I have a picture of the mother, but I don't. I have it off. I think it's on my other computer. I can't remember where I put it. But I kept a picture of her mother just for, you know, because it's her mother. But she passed away, which is really sad. So he lost her. But I told him, I don't know who told you what your dog was, but they lied. Because I got the proof. And that's the truth seeker in me. And you get these pages. And then it says your dog's unique genetic sequence. They send you a sequence page of what your dog's genetic looks like. And then you get the MDRI and the EIC screening results. And it'll tell you like drug resistance, negative, exercise-induced collapse, negative. Like her genes are good. And but it was more than just a DNA test. The reason why I had it done, it wasn't really to prove people wrong or anything like that. I really wanted to know for my own satisfaction. And because they also give you information on things that can happen to these specific breeds as they get older. Like it'll tell you how long they can live, but it also gives you like, you get a description of a Labrador Retriever, which is kindly, outgoing, eager to please. The Labrador Retriever is non-aggressive towards people. Like it tells you all this. And, you know, like things you can do with them. And then it also tells you health-wise. Like when you read the description of the Stratford Bull Terrier, it'll give you the description like the Labrador, like it'll say health-wise, the Labrador is prone to hip and elbow dysplasia. They may suffer from progressive retinal atrophy, which is, you know, eye disorders. And then they give you the good description of the Bull Terrier, and then they tell you the health on it too. So as your dog ages, you're able to watch for these conditions. That's crazy. But like the Staffordshire Bull Terrier was interesting because I know nothing about them. I've actually had hey Pack Mule. I actually had a Labrador and a Husky mix, but you know, but I've never had the Staffordshire Bull Terrier, so learning about its descriptions and things that can happen to it, like as a Staffordshire Bull Terrier gets older, they're at a higher risk for I can't say this word, mastocystoma, which is mast cell tumors. That's kind of scary. And then they have hereditary cataract. So she's got eye issues that can be in both, which both of my cats had cataracts too as they got older, so that's like a common thing. But you know, just learning about the Bull Terrier was different than what you learned about the Labrador. And then plus Labradors to me love kids. The Labs that I had were like very passive, where the Staffordshire Bull Terrier in her is stubborn. Like if you looked at the rates of what they gave online, they're more stubborn to train, where a Labrador is easier. So she's both, you know, like she was really easy to train to potty outside and things like that. Like she was easy in that way. As far as, to me, the Lab came out in her a lot. But not jumping on people, that's another issue. She's a little harder to train in that area. So I have to watch when my grandkids come, because she tends to want to jump all over them and lick them all up. And then once she sits at a room with you for a while, she calms down. But like right when you first come in, she just can't stand it. So, and my Labs weren't like that. They were more passive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, there's differences in dogs' behavior too, not just the breeds, but like, I don't know. My Lab never, the two Labs I had never picked up stuff off the ground. Like, I don't know how to explain it. She eats everything. Like Roni, I cannot walk her around my house without pulling people's cigarette butts out of her mouth. She eats everything. So when she sees snow on the ground, she tries to eat it up. And it's like, Roni, you can't eat all the snow off the ground. Like she's almost like she's got OCD. If I have one thing out of place in my house, she goes spastic. Like, for instance, I wish I would have recorded this because this is so funny. Alrighty, Victoria. Well, see, the funny thing with her is like I have this big stuffed animal sitting in the middle of the bed that wasn't there, and she didn't know. And I never thought about it. After work, I come up and she went jumping into the room and she saw this big stuffed animal and freaked out. I mean, like her hair just whoosh up her back and she was spastic. And I was laughing so hard. I'm like, Roni, it's just a stuffed animal, but because it was bigger than her, she was intimidated. So how are you doing, Peg Mule? Oh, I just think animals are funny. So after she got, knew it wasn't going to bite her, she calmed down. But I think they're funny. But I love all animals. I don't care, really. But it is nice to know the breeds as far as their behaviors and what you can look forward to in their old age. And that was another reason why I had this done. Well, that's good to hear. So my husband was sitting here last night and he's looking at her because it's almost like you got a new dog all over again. I mean, not that her behaviors changed or nothing, but like learning about her. Because he was just like, he was looking up stuff about gator pit bulls and learning all about them when we got her. And now we find out she's not one. Yeah. This lists health issues in the description of of what kind of dog they are. Like the Staffordshire Bull Terrier. It's actually easier to say the gator pit bull. But it says they're totally fearless and tenacious. They do everything full throttle. When well socialized with strong leadership, they can be adored outside of their family circle as much as they are within for their trustworthy stability and loyalty. The Staffy is known, I like Staffy, that sounds better, as a top contender in agilities and obedience trials in the country of origin, the United Kingdom. While powerful and courageous for its small size, the Staffordshire Bull Terrier is known by its owner as affectionate and a playful family pet. So you take that and you mix it with a golden retriever and you've got a good dog. She's a good dog regardless, but it's just like we're learning a new part of her. That's what I told my husband, that we thought we knew what we had. Now we got a new dog. Yep, very true. And it's funny because like around me, she's more mellow and she knows that I have a more sternness about me. So she listens, like she'll hear a tone. But my husband is like her enabler. He's home. He can't get her to listen. She wants to grab his sleeves and pull him to the floor. It's hysterical. Like, I don't let her do that to my clothes because she'll put holes in them. And then he gets mad at her because she bites holes in his pajama pant legs and things. It's hysterical how she is between the two of us. And I told him, I said, all I know is when she's home, you're her submissive. Because she literally will jump on him. I need to catch him on film with her. Because she will literally take her paws and hold his chest where he can't move to lick his whole face. She literally knocks his hat off, licks his whole face, and she will not quit till she's done. Like he's her puppy. Like she's the mom and she's like, you hold still till I'm done bathing you. And when he's like, okay, Roni, enough, she just keeps going. So it's hysterical. Hello. She's his boss. And I died laughing at him. I said, you don't even let me boss you like that. What the heck is up with that? I still love to see me holding you still. Of course, I wouldn't be licking your whole face, but But she rules him. She does. And if he's into a movie It's hysterical because she'll pick up a squeaky toy and everything by his feet to try to get his attention. It's like, oh, it's comical. But it is funny. Like last night, he was laying on the floor with her, and she was, trying to get his attention, and they were playing for a while, and then he fell asleep and he started snoring, and she's looking at me with a toy in her mouth like, Mom, really? It's like so comical. She's like, I got him to play with me, then he quit. But it is funny. But I love it when she grabs his sleeves and tries to pull him to the floor. It's just too much. She just gets him and then she lays down and then goes with a sigh, like she's trying to pull him on the floor with her. But it is funny. But she acts even different. Like he goes, well, you're home with Rodis, and no, it has nothing to do with that. I can leave for a whole day and she still does not act the way she does when you come home. She races me to the door and like it's just funny. He comes home and she sounds like she's going to beat my wall apart because her tail is wagging so hard to meet him. It's the most comicalest thing. I thank goodness we don't have any stands by the door because her hard tail will probably wipe everything off of it. But she don't greet me that way. She's happy to see me. Like she'll come be bopping in and wag her tail, but not like that. She'll wipe out everything when her daddy comes home. But I do think the opposite sex in animals is like your kids. Girls being daddy's girls and boys being mommy's boys. I think that has a big thing to do with it too. Because she knows there's a difference. And female dogs, to me, I find to be just like my female cats. I had a female cat and I had a male cat. And even though I loved my male cat, he was very affectionate. He would go in the litter pan. He was so sloppy. Like he would go to the bathroom and would not totally bury it. And then she would go in after him and cover everything before she would go to the bathroom. I said, that's typical male and female. I thought it was funny. And I hate to genderize like that because I know that there's men out there that are very clean. Some even more than some women I know. But it just was comical watching them. Because my cat, Blackie, was like that. He didn't care how sloppy he was in the litter pan. But she had to have everything just right. Oh, it's funny. Hey, Journey. That's who I missed. But once, everything was covered, she was fine. And then male dogs, like my one daughter had a male and a female dog. It just goes to show why I don't like to genderize too much because her male dog always would go to the bathroom outside, and it was the female that had the accident. And I do believe that had to do with the breed. Like, the male was a Chihuahua, he'd shake all the time, but by God, he would hold it to go to the bathroom outside. Where her female dog was a Yorkie, and I couldn't talk around her. It's like my daughter, like, shh, don't say nothing to her mom, because I'd be like, oh, how are you doing? And she would just whiz everywhere. She would get so excited she'd pee. So sometimes I think the smaller breeds can be that way. Because I know I'll even hear people say that about their kids. They'll be like, oh, yeah, when you have girls, it's harder to raise than boys. But my mom begged to differ. She had a harder time raising my brother than she did us two girls. So I don't think it's really a gender thing. I think it's all on the attitude of the person. Because a lot of people have a harder time raising girls than boys. They said that boys are easier, and some say girls are easier. But I just think it's just the temperament of the person. That's just my personal opinion. I can't compare because I only had daughters, but I mean, I don't know. Because my daughters are like night and day. I didn't have very many issues with one daughter, but then the other daughter was more rebellious. So, you know what I mean? It's just in their personalities. But I am so glad that I did my fur baby's DNA. And you get this little card. And even though I didn't really need it, there's a case number and a PIN number that you use for the password because you got to sign up for the results. But it was just a PDF file I downloaded out of my email. First, it didn't download, and I had to send them an email saying it wasn't coming through, and then they fixed it. But I had a result within 2 weeks, so I was pretty impressed. So she's what I thought she was and what I didn't think she was, because I didn't have any clue about the Staffordshire, or Staffy. I'll just call it Staffy. Didn't have any clue what that was, but the lab I do. And I find this interesting about her being from, you know, the Staffy is a United Kingdom animal. And I find that interesting because when I had my DNA done, that was a shocker in my genetics. Was the first one I knew. I knew we had German in our family. Irish, I didn't know, came from my mother's dad's side of the family. I've never celebrated St. Patrick's Day. I love it, and I've loved the colors and stuff, but I never celebrated it. And here I am, Irish. And then the third was United Kingdom. They come out of my DNA. So I thought that was funny that my dog's got United Kingdom too. So we just got UK all through our family, even my canine. So I thought that was interesting. I'm a mixture. I'm a mutt too. That's what I tell everybody. But what killed me was like all the way down, they did my DNA all the way down to 2%. There were no African American in my blood. There was no Indian in my blood, which my grandmother swore up and down on my dad's side of the family. Somewhere down the generation, there was a full-blooded Indian in her somewhere, but it's not in my genetics. And the bottom 2% come out Western Jewish. And I thought that was interesting, being that my top was German. You know, when you think back what Hitler did, which was horrible, being that I had German at the top and Jewish at the bottom, it's interesting. And I was telling my husband, you know, when they talk about Adam and Eve and the further away you get down your bloodline, the further away you get from your genetics, how cool it would be if we could go back in time and get all of our ancestors' DNAs, like my grandmother, my great-grandmother, and see what percentage come out of their ancestry. You know what I mean? I just think something like that would be cool, to see how high the German percent went. And you know, because I know my dad's side of the family said that we did migrate. There was somebody in my family, it was from Czechoslovakia, which is where the German comes in, like in that area, like they had on a map all of that circled within a certain, you know, with the DNA, they had like a whole bunch of different countries matted together, like this is the area. It was just really interesting. So I was shocked. Even my mom was. She was like, where did the Irish come from? I said, your father. But like DNA wasn't like a big thing back then. So, you know, it'd be nice if the ancestry DNA was, you know, something that started a long time ago where people could keep going back and going back. I think it would be awesome. Personally, that's my preference. But I don't know. So I just got home. I'm tired. I figured I'd do a quick live stream. My last live stream I did was huge. It was like 4 hours long. And because I was crafting, I was making these. They're all dried now. This is what they look like. The crafts I was making over words. I'm getting ready to add this to a journal I've been working on. And it's like a fall, Thanksgiving, Halloween mixture. And this is the other one. These were napkins. Isn't these cool? And I think with this one, I might stamp these. Like I have ink stamps And I'm thinking about putting a couple pictures over top of these. So these are going to be cool when they come out in my journal. I like making stuff like that. It's fun. But anyway, guys, thank you for stopping by and tuning in. But I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to spend time with my puppy. I love my fur baby. So you guys have a great evening. Bye.